Hey guys, I hope you're doing great today and that your day has gone amazing so far. Um, or you're having a great night, whatever. It's raining out here today. But I just wanted to leave a quick message because even though I've been very, very happy that I have seen a lot of people, taking this approach to raising our children with you know um with more patience, with more love, more understanding. And that's beautiful because we're starting to understand that, maybe that tough love that we kept saying that we need, we didn't need it. It created a lot of, PTSD in many of us. I thankfully didn't really go through much. I went through my own dramas at home, but not, let's say like physical abuse, you know, things like that, or very rough, language in the home. It wasn't really like that. They have my own things, but it wasn't that. And I'm grateful for that because I do know many people that were raised on, getting like physically abused and things like that, and that didn't help any of us. And a lot of parents, they would say, well, I was raised getting, hit and stuff like that, and I'm okay. But when you look at them, they're not really that okay. They have things that maybe they don't even know that they have wrong, and maybe it just, it shows with the way that they treat their children and how their children grew up and things like that, with a lot of like problems maybe, because nobody likes to get hit no matter what. No, that's not nice. you know and I'm not Miss Perfect or whatever. I have had my moments where I have gotten so upset that maybe I want to slap the butt of one of my kids, but being that I wasn't really raised with that attitude, it has helped me a lot to, think twice before I do anything like that. And I think it's beautiful that we're trying to not make the same mistakes that our parents made. But, this is from experience, right? Because in my home, I was the good guy, and then my kid's father was the bad guy, right? He was more, he was raised, with abuse and things like that. Not to put his business out there, but I got to understand why he thought like that was the way to do it, where I didn't. I was like, no, I don't think so. But I mean, I have my own faults with my kids, but at least in that sense, I didn't see that ever being okay. And but I will tell you guys this from experience. I didn't have balance myself. My kid's father was also, imbalanced, but I also didn't have balance in the way that I treated them. I was too nice, too accepting of everything, where, like I had said, I was mainly just their friend and not their parent. And the thing is that me growing up, my mom was also my friend. She wasn't really my parent. And when I started messing up and rebelling against her, she would do everything she could to make me happy so that I can do the right things and everything like that, which did not help me. I didn't get any structure out of that. I kept getting rewarded for me messing up. And that the only thing that did was, unfortunately, I have a different mentality now, but at that time my mentality was just like, oh my god, she's so stupid. Sorry for using the word, but it's like that was my mentality as an ignorant teen, not understanding the love that my mom had for me, and why she did things the way that she did. She really meant well, but unfortunately, there was no structure at all. And that completely made me want to leave my home and everything. I couldn't deal with it, even though my mom wasn't mean with me or anything like that. To me, her being mean was that she didn't let me go out with my friends, but at the same time, there was no structure or anything like that. I literally used to get away with so much, you know, and it didn't help me. It didn't help me. And as I got older, I remember telling myself, man, I wish my mom would have, you know, grabbed me, shook me a little bit and be like, what are you doing? You know, and put just a little bit of fear in my heart so I wouldn't do certain things, right? But I ended up doing the same thing with my kids. I ended up being, you know, too much of the good guy where I didn't show them really structure. So when it came to just being us alone, where I had to play the part of a father and a mother in the house, you know, they were too old for that. They looked at me like, what are you trying to do? You know, they were not used to that. They were not used to me having structure. You know, they were not used to me trying to set rules and stuff like that. You understand? And I had to like understand that I did that myself, you know. And but I didn't give up. What I did do is like, you know, I had to let them know, yes, you're right. You're completely right. I didn't do this and that, which I should have had, but I am doing it now. You know, and I had to set my foot down even if it felt too late. And we clashed so much, so much because of that, you know, that it made it very difficult at first. You know, and my daughters, they started, especially my daughters, you know, my son was still very young at that time, so I still had time for him, you know, even though I'm still learning with him, you know, because I still baby him a lot. But you know, I do try to talk to him and explain to him why I do certain things. And I do, you know, if I feel like he's not doing something right, or if it's not something that's good for him, I do put my foot down. You know, it's different than I was with my daughters. And, you know, but it comes with maturity, with experience and everything like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to be a good parent, it doesn't matter your age. However, as you grow older, you mature, you gain experiences, it will help you so that you can be a better parent to your children, you know. Especially if you didn't really grow up with certain, you know, a certain way. And so I, you know, I kind of had to learn to be a parent on my own in a way, you know, but not really on my own. It was because I would see, you know, from the other people in my family, I would see what went wrong, what went right, and I try my best to like avoid doing the things that I saw went wrong. But I didn't learn when it came to that because I felt like I had to be my girl's best friend, you know, around a certain time. But it didn't really help. It didn't help them, it didn't help me, it didn't help our relationship or anything like that. Although, you know, once I put my foot down and I said, you know what, yes, I did do this, all right, I was just your friend and everything like that, but now I'm your mom, you know, now I'm your mom and your friend, you know, so this is what it is now, you know. And at the late teens, they had to like learn to respect me, you know, and I had to also learn to respect them and look at my mistakes so that I wouldn't get upset, you know. I had to understand, you know, the things that I had done myself that caused them to be a certain way. I remember one time my daughter, my oldest daughter, she said something to me that, man, it hit me hard. It hit me so hard. And she said, you are the toxic person in my life, you know. And in my mind, I'm like, is she crazy? You know, like, I'm nice to her, I provide this, I do that and everything like that. But instead of me like reacting in a negative way, I had to step back and say, am I the toxic person in her life? You know. And even though to me, my perspective, I wasn't a toxic parent or a toxic person in her life, I had to understand that we all see life and people in different ways, you know. To her, I was toxic, you understand. She saw it that way. And when I started thinking about the reasons why she would think that I will be toxic, I agreed. I really did. I agree with it. Everything did bother me, that what she would do. It bothered me that she didn't listen to me. It bothered me, so many things, that she wanted to be out, that she wanted to do this, she wanted to do that. I couldn't like accept the fact that she wasn't accepting that that's it. Like those days of me being nice were like too nice, were over. So I really had to humble myself and had to come to a conclusion that I have caused a lot of it, and I had to like fix it. But what I'm trying to say with this whole video is that, even though it's beautiful that we're going towards like, let's do things different than, we were raised or what we have seen, we have to always have a balance. All right, we always have to balance, the good and the bad guy. All right, because it's gonna help them in the future, and it's gonna help your relationship. You have to build a beautiful connection with your child. It's not always just structure. Of course, you need that friendship so that they can feel safe with you. All right, but don't just let them get away with everything, because it's not good in the end for anyone. All right, we need structure, but we just, there's one thing with discipline, and there's another thing, being, having discipline is good, and we need it, but abuse is a different thing, and a lot of people confuse that. A lot of people think that because they're hitting their kids so that they can listen, oh well, it's to make them a better person. Not really. That builds a lot of PTSD and hurt in children and in the relationship of the parent and the child. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that real quick, but just to let you know that we need to find balance, not just in this, but in everything we do. And with that, life will be better for everyone involved. But I'll let you guys go. My son is almost here, and I hope you have a great day, and nos vemos mañana.